Hey everyone, welcome back to another video from the GeoFS Aviator. Today I will be making a 3-part tutorial on how to fly helicopters in GeoFS. I have looked into it and I have not seen a whole lot of videos on YouTube about how to fly helicopters in GeoFS, so hopefully I can make one that'll be helpful to everyone else. I know I've gotten a lot of views on videos with helicopters, so I am going to be doing a tutorial because I know that there's plenty of people out there who want to learn how to fly these. And I can tell you from experience that as much as I love flying general aviation aircraft, you know, like the Cessna 172, I like the Piper Cub a lot, I just think it's so relaxing to fly the helicopters in GeoFS, especially when I'm in the mountains. I love flying the helicopters in the mountains. So today is going to be the takeoff tutorial. But first things first, I just want to look at a couple things on the aircraft here. First things first, this cockpit looks amazing. I mean, so much detail has been put into it. You got the instruments here. You've got your artificial horizon. It just looks really, really nice. I think it looks even better in the 3.3. I haven't actually flown it in 3.3 yet, but I would recommend that you check it out in 3.3. You can move around the cockpit like you can in most other of the other default aircraft. You can move around in the cockpit and cabin. Yeah, so it's just a really, really nice layout inside and out. Really good job making this. Let me reset my camera here. I do want to look at the outside as well, because there's a couple cool things on here as well. Sorry. First things first, X feature. Oops, just paused. There we go. First things first, the X feature opens the doors, so that's kind of cool. You've got the little cargo compartment there. You've got these doors slide and open. That's pretty cool. I like that a lot. Again, the outside just looks really, really, really nice. Now, I do want you to take note of one thing. The propeller here, or whatever it's called, rotor, I'm not familiar with terms on helicopters. If you power it up, so even without like turning on the engine, I have it turned off right now. If you look at what happens when you push the keys, you'll see that it actually, the propeller, or the blades on each one, they turn down. Like here's 0, here's 9, 0, 9, 0, 9. And then I'll just kind of run through the keys real quick. It's pretty cool to think that that's actually how helicopters work. Actually, at least the EC-135. You can see I'm at 0 RPM, and it'll usually stabilize right around 100 or so. And then when you put power into it, when you hit the keys, or if you have a throttle quadrant, you're not actually putting more power into the propeller turning. You're actually putting more power into, or making the blades turn at a more sharp angle. Here's a good side view. They actually turn quite a bit, and that's one of Newton's laws. For every action, there's opposite but equal reaction. So you'll see the air, when it's coming in, comes in from over here, hits that, gets deflected downwards, and because it gets deflected downwards, that's going to push the helicopter upwards. For every action, there's equal but opposite reaction. That's one of Newton's laws. So that's how that's going to work, as well as that's actually how it works with flaps on aircraft. Is the air is going to come in, and when the flaps are down, it hits that, goes down, creates more lift even at a slower speed. So that's pretty, it might not seem like it's good to know, but it can actually be pretty useful to know when you're flying aircraft. Anyway, enough about education on these. Let's get into flying, shall we? So, first things first, obviously we're going to turn on, actually we're going to have to set our sensitivity. So, I recommend takeoff with mouse. You can switch to keyboard once you're in flight, which I sometimes do, especially if I want to make it like autopilot, if you will, because there's no autopilot on these helicopters in GeoFS. So I have my sensitivity turned to 0.5 and think that's pretty good for the EC-135. It might kind of vary from helicopter to helicopter. I might actually turn down this just to 0.4. Makes it a little less touchy. And I know that the Robinson R-44 is a really nice training helicopter. I like using that a lot. EC-135 is a little harder to learn on, but if you can learn on it, that's good because it'll help you learn the other aircraft or other helicopters really easily. I believe that the R-22, which is just a smaller two-seat version of the R-44, is coming out by Dev Hunter 77. Not sure exactly when, but I'm pretty sure that's supposed to come out somewhat soon. So, with that said, make sure you have your settings set somewhere around here. The lower is usually better, but you don't want it at like 0.2 or 0.1. I'd say 0.4 or 0.5 is pretty good. Exponential, keep that down. Keyboard, maybe 0.7 might be good for that. If you have a joystick or side stick or even a yoke, I reckon you could definitely use that to fly this pretty easily as well. So, let's get into flying. Engines have started up. Let's see if they're at their good RPMs here. So yeah, starting to settle right around there. Still going up a little bit. It'll probably stop right around 100. You see these two red lines are about where you want it to be. Right in 100 is pretty good. So, on takeoff, you are going to want to be on mouse. We can switch to keyboard once we've gotten some altitude, but for now, you want to stick to mouse. It's also helpful to know that because this aircraft just turns, I don't know if it does this in real life, I kind of doubt it does. It's going to be bad for the, whatever's on the bottom, not gear, I guess. But if you use a little bit of rudder, which you do want to have your mix roll and yaw off for flying helicopters, and I like to have it off for planes as well. But you're going to want to use that a little bit, especially on takeoff. And then you're going to want to have your controls just pushing forward a little bit. Let's do a real quick control check as well. Let's see that moving on. Oh wait, okay, well, seems to move side to side, seems to move up and down, and then rudder also appears to work. Apparently I don't know where anything on the helicopter is. Yeah, that's weird. Anyway, I thought it used to move, but maybe I'm wrong. Okay, so, just so you know, key 6 is hover, so you usually want to avoid that when taking off, or just click it and really quick switch to a higher setting. I recommend hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip key 6. Make sure you've got your stick a little bit forward. So you move a little bit. If you move that, you want it a little bit forward. And then you also want to switch to key 7 and key 8. You're going to want to pull back just a little bit on takeoff there. Try and use very little movement. You're going to want to use that rudder again to try and keep it going straight. It's pretty hard to take off. I've been flying helicopters for about 6 months now in GeoFS, and it's still sometimes hard to take off. So just make sure you're trying to keep it, for the most part, right here in the middle. But you'll definitely want to use some gentle movements, but you definitely need to respond quickly. So let's reset that. Try again. Make sure when you reset that you hit 0 real quick, because if not, it'll for some reason keep your power setting and you'll just start flipping over. So key 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold there. Make sure you've got your stick just a little bit forward. You see it's moving there. Keep it just a little bit forward, and then we're going to go ahead and switch to 7 and 8. We're going to pull our stick back just a little bit. As we do that, this just prevents us from tipping forward or back too much. Make sure you're using rudders to stay straight, and you might feel a little bit of a turning there. but just use that rudder again to keep you facing the right way. If I stop using rudder, you can see I start to turn like that, kind of. Once you get higher up, it doesn't affect you so much as it does on takeoff or landing. But for takeoff or landing, that's what you want to do. So, after you take off, maybe just kind of, try and get the feel of it. Take some turns. You don't usually need to turn too sharp here. I just rolled pretty hard there. But once you roll a little bit, then you turn pretty fast. Make sure to use rudder to help control that. And then, yeah, you might feel some G's in real life here if you're doing that. So yeah, I recommend practice takeoff a couple times, and more videos will come on how to do cruising, kind of use autopilot, if you will, manual autopilot in a way, which I'll teach you how to do that. And that'll be it for this video. Later will come another landing, or a landing. Just be sure to practice your takeoffs. Once you got that down, should be another video will come out pretty soon after this one, just in a day or two. So be sure to keep an eye out for that. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great time learning to fly your helicopter, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good one.